Hello, a very good morning to you and welcome back to the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield. It is day 5 of the 2018 Betfred World Snooker Championship and the second round gets underway tomorrow. But today we have 3 former world champions in action. One of them is Mark Williams, of course, and he's got a real good chance of booking his place in the second round against England's Jimmy Robertson.
Jimmy. Mark Williams pinched the opening frame and he leads 1-0.
Oh, another fabulous pot. Yeah, he's floated the blue in. What a start by Mark Williams. Safely in, and that's the frame now, and he'll be feeling a lot better now, Jimmy Robertson. A magnificent century break from Mark Williams, 3 frames to 1.
To 4 frames to 1 now.
There you go. No, you're kidding me. And that surely is the frame.
Oh, very well played. Super red. It's been a tough afternoon. He trails Mark Williams by 7 frames to 2.
Mark Williams looking composed, relaxed, pulling out all the tricks. Needs just 3 frames to book his place in the second round. Not looking good for Jimmy, by the way. He trails, has never beaten Williams, but Mark on his way to his 33rd win here at the Crucible. He will be looking to do a ding and get it over and done with nice and early, like Ding did yesterday. Getting underway over on table 1, meanwhile, this morning, 4-time world champion John Higgins. First session of his first round match against Thailand's Thepchaiya Un-Nooh, making his debut at the Crucible. Big day for him after coming through the qualifiers. The players, as you can see, are ready. Let's join Rob Walker.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're edging closer to completing the lineup for the second round of this year's Betfred World Snooker Championship. And what a session for you now. 2 of the 4 remaining former world champions ready to take centre stage once again here in Sheffield. Please welcome, first of all, a player who came through a huge match against Alfie Burden on his 32nd birthday last week to book this, his big debut in Sheffield. 4 times a ranking event semi-finalist, runner-up in this season's 6 Reds, becoming the 5th player from Thailand to appear here at the Crucible. Give him a massive reception. It's Thepchaiya Un-Nooh. And his opponent, Hard to believe it's 23 years since his Crucible debut and 20 years since the first of his 4 world titles. His class has continued this season with 2 more ranking titles, taking his tally to a remarkable 30 so far. He is one of Scotland's finest. It's the Wizard of Wishaw, John Higgins. And on table 2, please welcome a player who was brilliant at the qualifiers to book this, his 4th visit to the Crucible. This season, he reached his first ranking event quarter-final in Germany. It's a tough ask this morning, but he'll be determined to come out and show the class that brought him here in the first place. So come on, the Sussex Cuman, Jimmy Robertson. And to his opponent, a player who used to joke he was a has-been. Don't believe it for a second. This season, he is right back on form. Winner of the Northern Ireland Open and the German Masters, once again firmly established in the world's top 8. Twice a champion of the world, he is the pride of Wales. He is Mark Williams.
Fine welcome for all 4 players. If you want John Higgins against Tepchire Un-Nooh, that's available on the red button, BBC Sport website and BBC Sport app. But live here on BBC 2, it is Williams Robertson in the company of Alan McManus and Ken Doherty. A very good morning to you.
Frame 10.
Yes, very good morning
Mark
to you,
Williams,
Jason, and everybody listening in. Now, will Mark Williams make a short morning of it, or will Jimmy Robertson, the man from Sussex, make a dramatic comeback? This could be very, very interesting. How do you see it, Alan?
Well, on the evidence of yesterday's session, Jimmy Robertson will be disappointed, won't he, to be 7-2 behind for a few reasons. Mark Williams nicked a couple, so if Jimmy Robertson's going to get back into the match, he's just going to be a little more streetwise, which ain't easy against a player of Mark Williams' stature. We know about his form this season, Mark. So you've got to get a good start. That's obviously, so that's the first thing. Pretty obvious, but yeah, it's a good start. Good safety shot.
I just felt he got a few chances against Mark Williams yesterday, but just didn't score enough, did he? You know, he kept breaking down, and Mark Williams, you know, stole that first frame, stole the second, stole the next one as well. He was 3-0 down. He could have been easily 3-0 up. It's amazing the way the game went. And then, of course, we saw that dramatic fluke in the highlights. And that was another frame on the board. But Mark Williams, when he was in, he looked very composed indeed. Could be another possible contender this year. And certainly the way he's played, he's won 2 ranking tournaments, and of course he won the 6 Reds as well. So he's had a great season so far. He's overcut that. Well, he's going to need a little bit of luck to cover it. He may have covered it. Well, he has covered it, but Mark has still got the red to the bottom right-hand corner pocket. And he may come down and have a look. Well, I was just wondering, Alan, he's looking at the plant. There's a lot of distance between these 2 reds.
Yeah, as long as he shifts it. Oh, what a shot. That's the thing with Mark Williams, isn't it? Even when he takes a risk, it's full commitment, isn't it? There's no, you know, there's no half measures.
We made that look very, very easy indeed. I was just about to say, well, can you believe it? He's part of a great plan,
Mark
and then
Williams
he's missed an easy pink in the middle. black doesn't pot into the bottom left-hand corner pocket, so he'll have to go up for possibly the blue here.
Thank you. 1.
He's done quite well to get the cue ball up that far at the table. Just the right side.
Yeah, I think he'll be coming out this morning, Jimmy, fairly relaxed actually. 7-2 behind. Well, the prospects of winning are not very high at all, but so more often than not,
6.
players will come out with a degree of freedom in their action and just hope that things go their way, see if something can happen. And he's one of those players, Jimmy, he's really quick when he gets his chances. He can reel off a couple of quick frames.
7.
As the average shot time, both very similar. Mark Williams normally a bit quicker than that. Perhaps it's just, you know, playing at the Crucible, you've been a wee bit more careful. Jimmy Robertson, 24. It's his 4th time at the Crucible, Jimmy Robertson, and he's yet to win a match. But when you look at who he's played here, it shows you how difficult it is for the qualifiers. He's played Mark Selby, Marco Fu, and Mark Allen, and now he's got Mark Williams. It ain't easy, Ken, is it?
No, not easy. It's not easy at all. Well, of course, any of the qualifiers, they're always going to play a top 16 player, so it's never going to be easy. But yeah, a lot of tough matches in there, all right. That's a nice pot.
13.
Just overshot it. He was hoping to creep in behind the pink and try and get that back up in its spot. It's a little bit more of an acute angle now, but he may risk it. No, he's just going to play a snooker. I thought he'd take the more aggressive
Jimmy Robertson,
approach.
13.
It's going to be hard to beat somebody like Mark Williams in a tactical battle. I thought he might just take a few chances this morning. You spoke about that freedom, and I totally agree with you, Alan. I think he will be a little bit more sort of less nervous than he was yesterday. Bit surprised though he took that option of playing the snooker rather than taking that pink to the left centre. And that's the reason I say that, because, you know, you're not going to get much change from Mark Williams on the tactical side. He's so well experienced, knowledged. I bet he'd love to have it back and maybe have a go at it the next time.
Yeah, a lot of times we talk about players going out and trying to just play the balls, play the table, play the situation, but I've always been a believer that to a large extent you've got to play your opponent, and Jimmy Robertson's opponent today will dictate a lot of how Jimmy Robertson actually feels. I mean, as you rightly say, all right, the pink was difficult, but he would have been thinking, all right, I'll drop him in behind the pink here, but I don't think Mark is going to leave me anything. And all of a sudden Mark Williams is the boss in the safety battle here. It's always, it's not just what Mark Williams does when he's on the table, it's what he makes you think when he's sitting in his chair. He's that good. That's what the top players do. Yeah, no return, so he's having a pop at this.
Good shot. That's one of my points why he should have taken the pink on. That red was much more difficult than the pink to left centre.
Bramble.
But he got down and played it because he was forced into playing it. Good brown. But he has a lot of work to do. He can only really
5.
Score with the blue and the ball colours with these reds. So, oh, hold on. Is it in the middle?
Jimmy Robertson 5.
The only criticism, if there is one with Jimmy Robertson, he's a wee bit unreliable with that type of shot. Because of the style of game he has, he's not a technical, he's a very much a field player, Jimmy Robertson. When he gets himself going, he can be devastating. A little bit of movement on the shots, and sometimes he looks a bit anxious. He actually used to suffer from a condition that made him shake. He's got it under control now, a condition called dystonia, of all things. But I say, sometimes he if he's not feeling all that confident, he can look a bit unsteady. Actually owns a snooker club back home in Hastings, there's Jimmy Robertson. It's called O'Sullivan's. Sure they'll all be watching down there this morning, up bright and early, cheering the man on.
6.
Yeah, this is a similar type of shot, although he's screwing back off this to that last red he missed. See how smooth he hits it. Yeah, it was a bit jabby,
7.
wasn't it? You know, he's not. He doesn't sort of float through the ball.
No, he's not. His technique wouldn't be. You can see from his back arm. You see how it's to the side
Blue
as
ball.
opposed to directly behind his head. Good pot, but doesn't want that cue ball going into the middle. Ooh. And when you lose the cue ball, it's
12.
sometimes you struggle to get it back into position, and that's what happened. Just a little kiss on the green. I'll have to pull out another good pot here.
Jimmy Robertson 12.
When he does get going though, in around the pink or black, he's a very prolific scorer and very quick. I think this red has just popped its head out. He may be able to have a go at this, Jimmy Robertson.
You can just detect that wee bit of movement on the shot again, just to suggest that he may come out relaxed today. See the head movement, just a bit anxious still early on this morning. Ooh, he's had a bit of a hefty bounce there, Mark Williams. Fortunately for him, the green will pass. He's just about all right.
Four. Five.
Just watch Mark Williams playing this shot. Look how relaxed on delivery he is. See that? Just consciously tries to be smooth through the ball. Not easy to do, easy to say, but Mark Williams is brilliant at it. Taking the pressure out of the stress out of the situation.
He floats a lot of balls, doesn't he? He plays a lot. He plays a lot of balls with
11.
just drops them in, as opposed to players like to stun them in, just in case they. He just likes to drop them in dead weight sometimes, and it's just the way he plays. He's a real touch and a feel player.
Yeah, I was saying just before a few minutes ago about how your opponent affects you when you're sitting in your chair, i.e. Jimmy Robertson here, and when he's watching Mark Williams in scoring, he looks so relaxed, and you think, well, I'm sitting here and I'm nervous. Why is he not?
I'm not quite sure what he's on this red. He's had an anxious look.
16.
No. He's trying to push the cue ball a few more inches to the left. So he'd be on this red to the bottom left-hand corner. So he's got to take an alternative. A bit more difficult with the rest, of course.
Thank you. Mark Williams, 16. One.
Yeah, good pot. Cued that one nicely. Got into it too much. Actually can't believe he got the cue ball back that far. Would have loved to have been a bit straighter on this brown. He could have taken it to the right centre, but that shot's not on now. May chip off the green and try and, I think there is a little bit of room behind the yellow. Try and get the cue ball well.
Jimmy Robertson, 1.
Just using the brown instead.
That was a beautiful shot.
Yeah, it was such a simple shot, wasn't it? But played to perfection.
Yeah, the way he played, he almost played it thinking, and deliberately wafer thin, but what another stunning pot from Jimmy. He's getting good starters. This is as good a pot as we've seen all tournament. He's got to string a few together here. What's he? 15 in front now, so Brown 19. Plenty of work to do. See how smooth he can cue this Brown. Yeah, that was good. I like the way he played that. He didn't overhit it. Didn't try to get over ambitious with it. The point of that is you fancy him knocking this red in, so I thought that was good.
5.
It looks like the black and red may be in the way. Is there enough room just to miss it and get back up for the blue? Got the kiss on the black, but he may still be on this blue.
6.
No. And the blue doesn't pot. Green looks quite tricky with the rest. He may just roll up to the blue. Nice. I'm going to take the green on. 20 ahead. Green would be 23, so he's still going to need the last 2 reds. Yeah, good pot. Tried to go in, didn't it?
9. Jimmy Robertson, 9.
Now, 23 behind Mark Williams. This is where he earns a lot of his corn in the snooker tour. He probably wins more of these frames than almost any other player. Well, he's maybe not going to win it with that kind of shot. So a rare safety mistake by Willow. A chance for Jimmy. Not easy. I think he's taking the correct red here. This one gives him access to blue or bolt colour. All about the pot. If this goes in, fancy him winning the frame. Good shot.
Thank you. 1.
It's not a bad little kiss on the blue. He's got to negotiate the cue ball now, in and out of balk, and back up close to this red as possible. This looks pretty good. Excellent positional shot.
6.
So just a red required. That's a good start from Jimmy Robertson, just what he would have liked.
7. $12. 14.
Well, this frame will give him a little bit of confidence, Alan.
$17.
Yeah, at least it's a good positive start, isn't it? Although it's not been his best stuff, but it's been
Jimmy Robertson,
well good
17.
enough to take this
And the frame.
opening frame. And he's still in this match, Jimmy Robertson. 7-3 behind, but a good start.
Yeah, there was a couple of fantastic long pots there from Jimmy, some crackers. And even though he's missed a few, but have a look at these little beauties. There's one. He got into that lovely, didn't he? And have a look at this one. You like this one, Al?
Yeah, I've not potted one of them in my career, actually. That's why I liked it. But yeah, good start.
Well, you can't pot them if you don't go for them, can you?
Well, that's why. That's why.
You're like me, I wouldn't have looked at that red, I don't think. He's a good long potter, though. But there's always, as you said, like Jordan that frame, you know, when Jordan the important, when he's in, he misses the odd one, even the mid-distance ones. And that's what's given his opponent the chances to build up that lead.
It's something else that can't be underestimated by, obviously, the top players. Is composure, isn't it? It's so difficult to have it out there, but is it a thing that you can teach, or is it a thing that's inbuilt? I mean, you know, Mark Williams naturally has it.
Yeah. Yeah, good question. I think, well, he's been around the circuit long enough, Jimmy Robertson, but it's a good start from this morning. It'll give him a little bit of confidence. We did say he'd have a little bit of freedom, maybe.
Frame 11.
Get off the shackles,
Jimmy
and
Robertson.
let's see what happens now. Frame 11.
The main snooker tour these days is a vibrant place. A lot of tournaments now, and you know, guys like Jimmy Robertson making their way in the game, but it's not always been that. Jimmy Robertson's actually been relegated from the tour twice in his younger days, so it's been a tough road for him, but starting to get the kind of results he's always been looking for. Tough starter. Yeah, not easy. Again, they are talking about composure. I'd like to have seen Jimmy just play that a bit softer and play for the black in the other corner. Do you not think, Ken, you know, just maybe try and stroke it in?
Absolutely, just floated in, and that's what Mark Williams would have played. It gives the red a chance to get into the pocket as well. You have to be so much more accurate when you're hitting it with pace. Whereas when you're dropping them in, you've got a chance to slide in off the knuckles. And I totally agree with you. I thought he played that the wrong way.
Yeah, there's no doubt Mark Williams would have played it for the other pocket, and the black just drop it in. Say give it every chance. But he is one of those players, Jimmy. He's a kind of punchy style in it, punchy cue action. All right, he left this red here, but I don't think Mark Williams will be remotely interested in it.
Yeah, I think if the red that's left of the black, if that wasn't there, Mark Williams would probably take this red on, but there's no real value with taking it on here because he can't get on the black. He may just play a containing safety shot. Let's see what he plays. He may put the cue ball over on the right hand side of the table. It's a clever shot. Well, it's not the best safety shot Mark Williams has ever played, and he's left his opponent a couple of chances here. Has he got enough topspin to get out for the black? Could have done with a bit more pace on that. Trying to get the black into the same pocket. Just didn't get enough topspin. Now will he have a go at this black? Cutting it back into a blind pocket. Oh, good shot. Very good. And he's nicely on the red. Well done.
Yeah, those take a steely nerve, Kenny, don't they? That was a brilliant shot.
Nine.
Another nicely played cannon.
60.
He's got options here. He's got red into the right centre. He's got this red in to the bottom right hand corner pocket. It's a bit awkward cueing the one into the corner pocket. May take the red to the right centre. Well, he's going to get the spider out. But I'm just wondering, we need a bit more than the spider because the red, it's just to the left of the pink, is in the way. So
The other one?
yeah, I thought that spider might not be long enough for him. We need the extended spider here. We don't see this very often. Played it well. Played it very well. Good shot. Never easy to use.
Especially in a snooker
70.
club when it's a U instead of a V, where your cue's touching it, and it sticks just just as you're about to hit the cue ball, it gets stuck in the groove. Of course, they're all proper at the Crucible. Yeah, this all depends on the angle he's got on this red with the hamper bridging. If he
24.
can avoid the cannon on the black, on the topping it through, I don't think he can avoid it.
Well, if anything, he should never have been high on this red. He should have been low, if anything, because then he has the options of going up for the blue, even if he can't stay on the black. And it's just a careless mistake. He's got this red up into the green pocket. Got a good vision of it. Oh, that looks absolutely perfect. Well played.
25.
He's going to need one good shot on the black, a nice cannon on the red to hold for the red above the black. No. No.
Jimmy Robertson, 25.
It's amazing he potted some good balls and then missed the one that you'd expect him to get. He was just trying to float this black in, wasn't he, and trying to get that full ball cannon. Got the cannon perfectly.
Yeah, the red into the green pocket was a brilliant shot, wasn't it? But he just lost the cue ball a hair. And that was enough to make the black missable. So, really, the first genuine scoring chance for Mark this morning. This is where he's so good. His shot selection, even that little shot in the black there, he played it where he could land on at least two other reds. Again, just watch as he hits the cue ball. There's not a lot of tension there. I don't see him hit the ball hard, even when he plays a little punch cannon, a sort of punch stun, sorry. I mean, even there, he just rolls that in. A lot of players would have played for the other red in the same pocket.
16.
Even there, dropping it on and off the
17.
cushion, where a lot of players would have stunned it, perhaps. Something else he does, Mark Williams, actually, when he's in scoring, that isn't easy to do, but if you watch him, even though he's
24.
very quick, watch him walk round the table. He almost just ambles slowly, and yet he does things quickly.
25.
Look at him. Little steady wander. Nothing hurried. Looks easy, but not easy to do. There's another thing as well about him. He's
32.
Not ideal in the black. He's quite happy to just take his medicine, leave a more difficult red. Yeah, fabulous. That's a brilliant shot.
33.
I don't think he'll play the cannon into the pink here. I think he'll just come off the top cushion. Back up for the red left of the pink. The reason I say that, he's going to come around there. He's just had a quick look. I think the bottom red
38.
of the tree below the pink pots. And that'll be his next choice
39.
after this black. Just wondering if he pots this, can he just nudge the red just to the right of
46.
it? Just bring that into play as well. I think he can. He'll bring two reds into play here. No.
47.
Just brought the one, but he's got a nice angle now to go into those two reds below the pink. Didn't catch it the way he would have liked. Really needed to catch that on the right hand side as opposed to
54.
the left hand side. He has a possibility of a double. reluctant to play it because the cue ball will be coming down this left-hand side of the table and he'll be leaving 2 reds into the right centre. If you can get the cue ball over to the other side of the black, he may take this on. Oh.
Mark Williams, 54.
Well, he's got a 54 break, but he's been a little bit fortunate there that he hasn't left that red, as we see the double again. Again, that surprised me. He didn't take that red on. He put a couple of cracking reds in the first frame, Jimmy Robertson. And that red wasn't half as difficult as those two, but he refused it. Expecting a better chance. And well, he may be right. He's got a better chance. One good long pot here. Stay on the black. And a chance to win the frame.
No, very good. And look at the cue ball as well. Beautifully controlled. You pot that thin, you lose the cue ball. Look at it straight in the middle of the pocket, hit the leather. So, any aspirations of really getting back into this match, this is a must clearance. How's your composure, Jimmy?
8.
Yeah, this would hurt Mark Williams even more, particularly the fact that he was in and had a chance to win it himself. So
9.
he'd be very disappointed, Williams, if he loses this frame as well. They look easy, but when you're 7-3 behind, obviously a lot harder.
15. 16.
Didn't get into the cue ball as he would have liked, but he's just okay. He can go up for a ball colour here.
22. 23.
Thought he would have been best going for the ball colour there because he's come a little bit straight on this blue. Can't get as close to the yellow as he would have liked.
Yeah, actually, I think the yellow being off the spot helps him a wee bit here. He's still got a decent angle, hasn't he? Just a little trace of right-hand side, just to square the cue ball back off the rail. All about the pot, guaranteed position. Yeah, well done.
30.
Yeah, played that very well, very confidently. Oh, this is
33.
really good, confident clearance here from Jimmy Robertson. Just a couple of pots away now. The blue will put him 13 ahead with still 13 left on the table, so he's going to need the pink.
37.
Yeah, normally Mark Williams is known as an ambush predator, but Jimmy Robertson's going to be the man
42.
to pinch this frame.
Well, in goes the pink. It's been a fantastic start with Jimmy Robertson this morning. He's won the first couple of frames. He's cut the deficit. It was 7-2. It's now 7-4. Good start. Fantastic as Mark Williams has gone out. Let's have a look what's happening in the practice room. And there's a fellow countryman of yours, Alan.
Yeah, young Anthony kicks off tonight, doesn't he, against Ryan Day? Probably the one that the seeds would rather have avoided. But I actually I actually think it's not a bad draw for Anthony because it gets your attention, doesn't it? He's playing Ryan Day, a multi-tournament winner this season, and it's just getting ready.
Yeah, it should be a cracking match, that, shouldn't it? It's very hard to call that one.
Yeah, I think probably with the bookmakers as well, it's the tie of the round. Hard to call, as you say.
You practice with him much up in Scotland? Yeah.
Yeah, we practice regularly. Anthony practices at his parents' house a lot of the time, but then goes around playing the other Scottish lads. Yeah, very dedicated, Anthony.
Well, not a lot of people would have predicted this, Alan. First couple of frames to Jimmy Robertson. He's back in the game now.
Yeah, better believe it. And yeah, next couple of frames. Yeah, well, to win them both would be a dream. To close to 7-6, that's a long way down the line. But the perfect start, and the good thing is he's now sitting there and he's in a match. Because coming out this morning, he wouldn't have been thinking that way.
Thank you. Frame 12. Mark Williams to break.
Yeah, so Mark Williams on the back foot this morning. Of course, he's not the type of player that's ever going to panic. Not 7-4 up, he's not. It's a great feeling, Ken, isn't it? When you make a clearance like that, even although it was quite an easy one after the first red, it's a great feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
Any time at the Crucible.
Yeah, it'll give him a great bit of confidence. And he didn't struggle through it, did he? I mean, he was... Okay, he got a bit straight in the blue, but he got a nice yellow to get on the green and looked pretty good doing it, so yeah, he'd be feeling good now.
Yeah, you would think it doesn't matter how you do it, but it actually does, doesn't it? The nature of the way he went about the clearance, it was cool. Yeah, shot to nothing, has to get at least close to the pot here to avoid the cannon. Much too thick. I think the greens came to his rescue here. Gotten away with it. Still got a match to win.
He's definitely left this red into the right centre. It's a tough pot into these middle pockets, and particularly when you're using a bit of pace. He's dropped it in nicely instead of trying to get up close to the blue. The problem about that is you're just potting, and now you left yourself just a safety shot.
Jimmy Robertson 1.
Yeah, probably worth having a go at this plant. I don't know how close it is, but Mark's playing it. It must be. He was banking on if he missed it, it was coming away from the pocket, but he's been fortunate he's covered it. Not in any real trouble though, Jimmy. It'll just be a dead weight drop on it.
Yeah, good hit. He's had a go with this red. Ooh. Played it in such a way, of course, that he'd be blocking it by the pack of reds. We may have a stalemate here already. Could have a re-rack here, I'd say. That might help the situation. In fact, it does, because I think Jimmy will play off this red close to the corner pocket. Well, he's going to play a different shot. Leave the cue ball tight on this top cushion. Not quite sure whether that was the right shot. Just wondering, is there a possibility of a plant there, Alan? No, he hasn't. Maybe the red isn't as nice over this bottom left-hand corner pocket as it looks on our screens.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game to play, Jimmy. That last shot, you see Ken screwing off the bunch, and you know, let's see how it develops. But I know who I think's favourite to win this safety battle.
Yeah. Re-rack.
Well, yeah, I knew it was going to come eventually, and I think Jimmy should have played a different shot. Got that red away from the corner pocket, back up the ball. It would have saved the situation. But anyway, both players are happy to have a re-rack, because we could have been there for a long time. So we'll start again.
Yeah, but I think a number of years ago, re-racks, you got the situation where the referee would say, I'll give you 3 shots each. Now both players are quick to just offer, aren't they? They'll have a look at each other, and the standoff is averted. Yeah, this side of the arena, as Olivier Martial just sets the reds up again.
That's a lovely view, isn't it? Good crowd in again this morning. Well, all the sessions, of course, are sold out. You will see the odd gap of seats, but what a wonderful atmosphere it is. And I love these morning sessions. Such a magnificent place to play.
Frame 12, Mark Williams to brick.
This is one of of the problems for players in the modern game. Jimmy playing off the pack here. The trouble is if he catches brown or yellow and leaves Mark Williams along red, he could be in trouble. That's why he's hesitant to play the safety shot, but he doesn't have a lot of options, so can he avoid the cannon? No, he can't. He's cannoned the yellow. That is the worry. Always the worry. And it's just the modern game.
So far this morning, Mark Williams' long game has been off. This is a tester because he'll be leaving, but my Reds if he misses this one. Yeah, again. And all of a sudden, he's shown a little bit of nerves now. That was a long way away. He was up off that shot. As soon as he hit it, and it's never a good sign, just watch him up off it.
I thought the other thing about it, Ken, I thought he'd have played for blue or bolt colour, because the only red he could leave then was the one he was playing. And he's the sort of guy who normally just prefers playing with topspin. He's not that sort of player to play that shot, is he?
Yeah.
Obviously fancied it, but yeah, it was well wide. Now this is a tricky starter for Jimmy. Big shot now. Don't overhit this. The harder he hits it, the less chance of potting it. Oh, he stroked it, but it was not close. Yeah, it's so tough, isn't it? You think when your opponent's missed the long red, almost butchered one, you're entitled to a better chance than that. That was a tough shot.
What a gift he's given back to Mark Williams here.
8.
Just have a look at how well these Reds are spread.
9.
I don't want to tempt fate, Alan, but could be a very big break on here. This will be 2 Reds, 2 blacks, and the way the Reds are situated, there's at least 6 or 7 blacks before he
16.
has to really do much with the cue ball. He's already made a maximum
70.
at the Crucible. I know it's early doors and he'll be concentrating with all his vast experience of winning the frame first of all.
24.
Well, there's definitely a very good chance players of his caliber will sense
25.
the opportunity straight away.
Yeah, the way the Reds are actually sitting is perfect for a player, a professional player. They're kind of almost sitting diagonally against each other, isn't it? So
32.
every red effectively goes at some stage without having to play any cannons.
$33.
Just have a look at the 2 Reds just below the pink. Well, doesn't look like has he got the angle to get back for the black? It doesn't look like
40.
it. He's gone up for the blue, is he? Yeah. Didn't. If he had
41.
got straighter on that red, he would have been back for the black. So, as I said, his vast experience will say win the frame first, and that's what he's done. Forgot about the 147 opportunity.
$46. $47.
He's already had a look. That's his target, 71, before his opponent needs a snooker. The Reds just below the pink will pot into the bottom left-hand corner pocket. I think he can hold for those. Yeah, nicely held.
52. $53. $59.
It's been well documented the last year or two. Mark Williams was thinking about
60.
packing in this game. You wouldn't think that would have ever been in his mind the way he's playing these days, but the new technique that he's been using the last year or so has done a couple of things. A, it's given him something to work on, and B, the fact that he's got something to work on, it makes him
67.
practice more. So it's almost a double header. Spends an awful lot of time in the practice room these
68.
days, does Mark Williams. But as I say, having something to work on forces him to do that. And he's playing fantastic. Under a little bit of caution this frame, but you wouldn't think it the way he's going about this break. He lost the cue ball a couple of times, but he's now past the point
75.
of winning the frame. Can he put together a biggie? Something in the high 130s. I think the highest break of the tournament so far is 137, isn't it? Sean Murphy. And he likes, oh sorry, players like nicking a few quid off each other, so he'll know the highest break at the moment. So played for blue, which means that
76.
possible high is 140. Let's see if we can peel off 4 blacks.
$81. $82.
Yeah, 140 would certainly be a nice target.
89.
You can't imagine over the 17 days of the Crucible, though, that 140 will be the highest break. You'd expect
90.
something a little bit higher than that, but you just never know. Most important thing for Mark Williams, he's put another frame on the board. He's closer to that magical 10
97.
for a place into the next round. He stopped the rot from Jimmy Robertson.
98.
So for the first century this morning, this black. It's there, nicely played. The 25th century of this year's championship.
105. 106.
So the 6 colours for a new target
113.
for the rest of the players. 140 break.
115.
Uh,
Made that maximum back in 2005, Alan.
Yes, in this very table, wasn't it? It's half of the arena. But yeah, looking back to the start of the frame, it just shows you, doesn't it, that
118.
Jimmy Robertson, the ready missed he. That's why that's where the pressure comes from, because he would have known the lay of the land, the lay of the table. If I miss this, I'm liable to be
122.
sitting down. Well, he has been for coming up in 14 minutes. This has been flawless from Mark Williams.
127.
Decided to take the pink in the middle, as long as he's not too straight on it. was a bit straight, but he's played it extremely well. So black for 140 and the highest break of the tournament so far. It's there, and fantastic break from Mark Williams. 140. Wonderful break. And more importantly, another frame on the board. It's now Mark Williams 8, Jimmy Robertson 4.
Yeah, well, I think we'll have a look at that, Ken, won't we? The red. It was a toughie, wasn't it, Jimmy Robertson had?
Yeah, it was down the black rail, and as you said, if he gets this, he's on the black, and quite possibly he could go on and win the frame. He knew how important it was, but knew he missed it, didn't he? The minute he hit it. Watch this.
Yeah, it was always far jaw. He tried to stroke it in, didn't he? He tried to sort of take the pace off it, but obviously lost accuracy, and he knew the minute he sat down what was on the cards. And he'll be coming out, breaking off in frame 13, and he'll be hoping it'll be lucky for him. It's a frame he badly needs if he's going to stay in this match. We've seen little Jamie Jones, didn't he, win against Sean Murphy from 8-5 behind. So it can be done in the frame before the mid-session interval.
Yeah, once you're 8-5, and as long as your opponent needs 2, you're still well in the game. 9-4, he would feel that was his opportunity gone. But I'm sure starting out this morning, if he thought to himself, he would be hoping to get 3 of the first 4
Jimmy
frames.
Robertson
So big frame coming up.
As we suggested, Mark Williams is not one to panic. Let's frame that magnificent 140. I think he was just knocking balls in the house or in the club or whatever. Great composure. Willow. Choice of a couple of reds here, Jimmy Robertson. He's playing the one at the bottom of the bunch. Make sure the pot. Yeah, settling on the other one. Sometimes you're not seeing these shots well. Cue ball close to the red. Difficult to pick your spot. Just have to trust it. Nope.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're tough shots. Those. Sometimes you're seeing them. You just see the potting angle straight away. Other times you're almost down the shot. You're thinking, oh, am I far jaw here? Am I hitting it thick? Mark didn't give Jimmy the eyes there, but once again, potential re-rack. Yeah.
Stitching ball.
Jimmy just eyeballed Mark Williams, but there was nothing doing. They get nothing back in return.
Well, I certainly wouldn't have a re-rack here. It was a touching ball. He can put this cue ball up somewhere near the yellow pocket. Well, they're going to have a re-rack. Oh, that surprised me. He's got a touching ball there, and why didn't he just put the yellow or the cue ball up near the yellow? He may have blocked a couple of reds down this into this corner pocket. Anyway, they just wanted to get on with it. That's fair enough. Bit of a strange one, that. Well, you wouldn't have had a re-rack there, would you, Alan?
No, I think, yeah, as you say, Ken, I think there was definitely a spot in bulk where he could have put Mark in. Certainly asked a question of Mark. Don't know whether how much actual trouble he could have put him in. Mark maybe drifted back into the pack again, but as Olivier Martial racks the balls up for the 6th time this little mini session.
Thanks. Frame 13, Jimmy Robertson to break.
Has he covered the red this time? I don't think so. No. As I said, his long ball game has been a little bit off, but I think after that wonderful 140, maybe back on song, he's definitely on this red.
Just see which way Mark Williams fancies this. As I said earlier, in long balls, a lot of times he'd rather stroke them in than stun it in. He's stunning again here. Oh, this time it's absolutely middled.
1.
See, he doesn't overhit, does he? He doesn't overhit the shot, even although he was stunning it. That was a good shot. The check side.
3.
Now, will he be brave enough to hold for pink here? Pink opens up another red. Yeah, making sure the pot by
4.
going up for blue. Probably a good decision. Just missed the pink in the right hand side. Yeah, he's coming round to have a look. Just a little soft screw. No, he's went full bore. And it could not have worked out better.
Oh, that was just the perfect split. Hit the pink, full ball, kept the cue ball, just almost where the pink was, and he's perfect on a red. Couldn't have worked out any better, as you said. Beautiful shot. Well, set himself up now to win the frame from this visit. Plenty of reds in the open.
$17. $18.
He'll get rid of the red just above the black now. Just gives a bit more room, manoeuvring the cue ball around the black.
Watch Mark Williams' a little shots he plays here. Look how close he keeps the cue ball to the object in the next shot.
26.
8 or 10 inches away. Nothing to do with the next shot. Again, it's played for 2 reds there.
33.
He's not been known down the years for his cue ball control, certainly not to the extent of guys like Ding, Higgins, O'Sullivan. But I think his new technique,
34.
being able to hit the cue ball in the middle, has given him far better control. Back in the day, I think, even though he was winning big titles
41.
and Triple Crown events and world titles, at times his cue ball was a little untidy. Not anymore.
42.
Just got a slightly heavy contact there, and you see the way he jumped up, but still the pace of the cue ball continued on. He's okay on this black. Yes, again. Out for a choice of 2 or 3 reds.
49.
So clever.
I'm sure he'll hope for the pink here as well, won't he? Just to open.
50.
I think it's just around the pink spot now. But going back to that, I mean the split, Alan, the perfect shot on the blue, hit the pink full ball, and it couldn't have worked out any better. Great shot. Now looks back to himself again.
56.
Just have a look at this again. Blue in there. You always say you've got to hit the pink full ball, and what it does is it just stops the cue ball right in the middle of the table. You've got plenty of options. Great shot.
$57.
Play a nice little cannon now on potting this pink just to the red, just to the right. And hold for those 2 reds. There you see it. Beautifully played.
$63. $64.
Not quite as supple as he used to be as Willow. A little extension on the cue just to make sure, because it is frame ball. The last couple of frames just tell you how tough it is at
70.
the Crucible. Jimmy Robertson missed that red along the black cushion. Sat down and Mark made 140. Then he's missed a even
71.
trickier red to left middle in this frame, and he's been sat in his chair ever since. And all that from being in a position where he might have thought, oh, I'm maybe back in this match
77.
here. And looking forward to the last couple of frames of this mini session, but Mark
78.
has just been flawless. And still just ambling round the table, almost in slow motion. Beautiful cannon.
85. 86.
You see, that's how good these boys can be. The absolute marquee players in this game. The last couple of frames, the 140 and this 92 and counting, he's almost not done anything.
92.
Cue ball in close order.
93.
This will be the 26th century of this year's Betfred World Championship.
$100.
And we're only early in day 5. Lots more to come.
Mark Williams,
Yeah,
100.
no clearance, but
And the
Mark
frame.
Williams won't be worried about that. Jimmy Robertson was back in the match at 7-4, but Mark Williams has taken the game away from him. He's won from victory and leads 9-4.
Yeah, it's been excellent stuff from Mark Williams, those last 2 frames. And as Alan says, just one more frame needed to book his place into the second round. We'll be back with that very shortly because it is live on the Red Button BBC Sport website and BBC Sport app, because we're running out of time here on BBC Two. The Daily Politics is coming up at 11:30. Before we leave you for that, just got time to show you some action from the other match this morning. John Higgins, former world champion, of course, taking on Tepchai Un-Nooh, who was making his debut at the Crucible. Higgins went into a 2-0 lead. We're going to join it in frame 3. It's Un-Nooh to play. He's trailing by 25 points. Commentary from Peter Ebdon and John Virgo.
Close. Well, it's my imagination at the moment, Pete. He just seems to be over-hitting the ball slightly.
Yes, I think he is, although on that particular occasion I think he needed to hit it hard just to square the angle up, otherwise the red would have gone to the far jaw, so I think we can forgive him on that particular occasion. Oh, it's a wonderful pot from John Higgins. I'm not too sure if that red went, but in it did.
Yeah, and that's why I said earlier on about when you play a double, you're never certain where the ball's going to finish. And if John can cope with this blue to the middle and get on that red that's just above the black, could be end of the third frame. Played it nicely.
Yes, indeed he did. He needed to get the spin on the cue ball very quickly there. He's got a red to the left of the pink spot that will go into the left-hand black pocket in a couple of shots' time.
7.
And that will open up the red into the right-hand black pocket. There's a possibility that the right of the cluster of 4 also goes in the right centre, so doesn't need to play a cannon. And he'll just be flicking
12.
The right hand of these 4 reds into open play here when he brushes through for the pack, for the black rather. Got
13.
another cannon on the way through. He's perfectly on the pink. Looking good for John Higgins here.
Purposely holding the pink spot, or he thinks he has, yes. Highest available is the brown spot. Suits John
19.
nicely. We've seen a few of the
20.
seeds in the first round wobbles, but so far no sign of that from John Higgins. Just overrun it a fraction. He felt
25.
a little bit of a bounce. I think what didn't help, he had a trace of right-hand side that took him a little bit closer to the red than he would like. Anyway, boils down to this red, black, and one more red, and it'll be snookers required.
26.
Pot this red.
33.
Go 59 ahead with 51 remaining.
34.
Just the start John Higgins was looking for.
41. John Higgins, 41 on the frame.
And the frame to Un-Nooh. Well, it's plain sailing at the moment for the 4 times champion of the world. John Higgins leads 3-0.
Yeah, it's been a very good morning for John Higgins. And let's just show you and drop in live now to table 1. And Un-Nooh is at the table, as you can see. 53-9 up in the 4th frame. They're about to finish this frame and then head off for their mid-session interval. Not been a great morning for Remember making his Crucible debut. And Ken Doherty has just joined me in the practice room studio for a little chat. It must be really difficult as well when you're walking out into this venue, especially on your debut up against John Higgins.
Yeah, 4-time world champion. It's sort of like a baptism of fire almost. But I tell you one thing about Tepchoya. He's a very, very talented player.
Yeah.
Lovely to watch. Strokes the ball around, scores very, very quickly, and he's a dangerous opponent for John Higgins if he settles into the game. I mean, the great thing about John Higgins is he's got so much experience and will try and freeze Tepchoya out as much as possible and frustrate him with his match play. But if Tepchoya gets on some sort of a roll, it could be very dangerous.
But as you say, Ken, this is a big frame for him, isn't it? Because if he goes in 3-1, then he's got a little bit of hope for the afternoon.
Well, absolutely. I mean, once you win that first frame, it sort of settles you down a little bit. You know, it'll be good for him going into that. You know, if he's 4-0 down, you know, it's so much more difficult. But he'll settle down, and hopefully we'll see some of the snooker that he can really play, because he's great to watch.
Yeah, we'll stay on these pictures, but I just want to ask you about Mark Williams. What is it about Williams this season? Because he's playing ever so well, isn't he?
He's playing ever so well. He's got a bit of confidence. You know, he's got that coach, Stephen Freeney, and he has Lee Walker around with him as well. He's using that sight right. And he's obviously found something. Well, you know, he's always been a great competitor. He's always been, you know, very skillful and such a, you know, a great match player and very successful. And he's just found something now this season, a bit of confidence maybe, you know, and maybe something in that sight right that's helped him achieve so much this year. 3 tournaments he's won, and he looks very, very good out there, I must say.
But he's also really good to watch as well, isn't he?
Yeah,
really
brilliant.
entertaining.
Yeah, he just
he always
floats,
has been.
He floats around the table. Look, he hasn't got a care in the world. And he made a magnificent 140 break there.
Yeah.
It was great to watch.
I'm glad we stay with that, by the way, because Tepchoya has got off the mark. That's his first frame he's ever won at the Crucible. Right then, we're out of time here on BBC Two, but we're back with Mark Williams, Jimmy Robertson, and Neil Robertson. Robert Milkins kicks off at 2:30, and you can see Judd Trump, Chris Wakelin on the red button. Bye for now.